Okay, this will be the sequence and series sample for Algebra 2. Make sure you get with your teacher and get a review to go over. Let's start with number 1. It says write the first 4 terms. Well, the nice thing is they give us the first. Okay, this is a recursive formula. So what they want us to do is they want us to multiply that by -2. So my next one will be -6. Okay, then I multiply that by -2, I would get 12. Multiply that by -2, I get -24. Okay, so that's that one. Show the expanded series and evaluate. So what they want you to do is they want you to start with 3 and put those in for k. Okay, so what you do there, very simple. All right, you would have 3 squared minus 2 times 3. Okay, and that gives me 3. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 4. I'm going to take 4 and put those in for both of those. Okay, so then I do 4 squared minus 2 times 4. Okay, I get 8. All right, so I get 8 there. All right. Then I'm going to go to 5. Now, if you notice, 5 is this number, so I'm going to put that in and I'm going to stop. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 squared minus 2 times 5. Okay, I get 15 there. Okay, get 15 there. All right, and then what I got to do is I got to add those all up, and that's going to be 26 is my final answer on that one. Okay, number 3, it says evaluate the following. All right, now you have all the formulas. Okay, they're all in your notes. All right, you should have these formulas. Now, what you're going to do for this, all right, since that is a geometric series, I'm going to use the formula, all right, A1, okay, 1 minus r to the n over 1 minus r. Okay? All right, so what I got there is, all right, first I got to get that first term. Well, how do I do that? Let's go ahead and put 1 right into there, okay? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to have 1/3. So 1 divided by 3, okay, that's that. And then 1.1 to the first power. When I get that, now as a fraction, that would be 11 over 30. Okay, so I got 11 over 30. Okay, all right, 1 minus my rate. My rate is 1.1. Okay, now I'm going 25, so that means I have 25 terms. 1 minus 1.1. Okay, and so when I type that in, move that over so you can see. I'm going to do 11 over 30, okay, times 1 minus 1.1 to the 25th, divided by 1 minus 1.1. And I get 36.06 as my answer. Okay? All right, find 2 arithmetic means between 20 and 37. Now what that means, 2 arithmetic means, is between 20 and 37 there are 2 spaces. All right. Now what I have here is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So I'm going to use this formula of A1 plus 4 minus 1 times D. Okay. Now I know some of these already. I know the 4th term. I know the 1st term. I know 4 minus 1 is 3. So when I subtract that, that's going to be 17 equals 3D. If I divide by 3, I'm going to get my difference is about 6 1/3. No, I'm sorry, 5 2/3. 5.6 repeating. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 5.6 repeating there. So that's going to be 25.6 repeating. If I add another 5.6, I'm going to get about 31.3 repeating. Whoops, 31.3 repeating. And if you add another 5.6, you would get to that. All right. Given this, find the sum of the 20 terms. Okay. Now what I'm going to use for that is this formula. Okay. 2A1 plus n minus 1 times D. Okay. Now, one of the key things that you have to do, all right, the formula won't give this to you, but you have to put parentheses around that D part there. Now, how many terms do I have? I have 20, so I'm going to have 20 divided by 2. 2 times A1 is 4, plus 20 minus 1, and that difference there is 3, and that's how I would type it. Okay. All right. All right. So what I'm going to type, okay, I'm going to type 20 divided by 2 times 2 times A1, which is 4. Oops, too many 4s, plus 20 minus 1. And we've got 3. And I'm going to double close. Watch the double close there. And that's going to be 650 for your answer. 650. Okay? Find 3 geometric means between those two. So that's 20. 3 geometric means I got 3 spaces in that. Okay? All right, now that means I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. All right? So what I'm going to have is I use the formula A1, r to the 5 minus 1. I know the 5th term. I know the 1st term. That's going to be r to the 4th. How do I get rid of this 20? Division. Okay? So what I would have there, if you divide 5120 by 20, you get 256. Okay? So 256 equals r to the 4th. Now I'm going to take the 4th root of that. Now, you can do that a number of ways. One way is to take the square root of that twice. Square root of 256, square root of 16. Okay? That's one way to do it. You get an answer of 4. Another way to do it is you can type in 4, shift, and then use this deal, okay, with the x's. That tells it do the 4th. That also gives me 4. Or you could do 256 to the 1/4 power. Okay? Either way will get you an answer of 4. So my rate is 4. So what does that mean for me? That's going to be 80. That's going to be 320. Whoops. And that's going to be 1280. And if you multiply by 4, you would get that again. So all you're doing is multiplying by 4 there. All right? I think that's that page. Okay, moving on to the next page. It says write an explicit and recursive formula. Okay, so the explicit is this one. The recursive, all right, all that means is the recursive is the easy one. A to the 1st is 7. And then you have to ask yourself, what's happening here? Well, I'm subtracting 5, okay, to get to there, so what I'm going to have there is an minus 1 minus 5, where n is greater than or equal to 2. So that's just telling you how to go from one term to the next. The explicit formula, what we want to find there is we want to find all this information. So I got 7, all right, I don't know n, I know the difference is -5, okay? So if I distribute that, that's -5n plus 5. So my implicit formula is that, -5n plus 12. Explicit, recursive, okay? Find the sum of the following series. Well, that's going to be a geometric series. So what I want to find is the rate, which is 1/3 divided by 1, which would just be 1/3, okay? Now, that formula would be this. Okay, so I'm going to put in 1 for A1, 1 minus 1/3, okay? And then I got to put in 1 minus 1/3 down here. Now, I need to know the n. Now, here's what I can do to figure that out. I can use the formula, all right, A1 to the r minus n minus 1, okay, where that's obviously going to be 1. And what I want to figure out is, if I put 1/3 in here, what could I get to get 287, okay? Now, you can play around with that in the calculator, okay? But what you'll figure out is if I do 1 times 1/3, let's say raised to the 9th, okay? Fraction of decimal, a little too big, okay? So let's say 1 times 1/3 raised to the 8th, okay? That's a little bit too big as well, okay? Then I'm going to do 1, all right, times 1/3 raised to the 7th power. Okay, now, here's the deal, is that to get that, what did I need to put in to get 7? Well, I really needed to put 8 in, okay? So 8 is my n there, so I'm going to use 8 into that problem, all right? So what I'm going to type is I'm going to type 1 times 1 minus 1/3 raised to the 8th divided by 1 minus 1/3. I get 1.499, okay? And that's going to be my answer for that problem, 1.499. The key is use this to figure out that last term, if you need to know what the number of terms is. Find the sum of this infinite geometric series. Well, first I got to figure out the rate. That's going to be 18 divided by negative 54, which is negative 1/3. So I can do it, okay? If it was bigger than 1, okay, absolute value, I could not. So the formula for that, that's an infinite, so that's just going to be a1 over 1 minus r. Okay, now, that's pretty easy because my first term is negative 54, and my rate is negative 1/3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and type that in. Negative 54 divided by 1 minus negative 1/3. Okay, that's going to be negative 40.5, I believe. Okay. Let me double check that. I think that's right. Yep, that looks right to me. Let me say 18 divided by negative 54. Okay, yeah, it's going to be negative 40.5. The sum of that. Okay? Yep, all right. Write an explicit and a recursive formula for the nth term of the following. So this is a geometric one, okay? So the two geometric formulas are this. Here's the explicit. The recursive. And you got to ask yourself, well, what's happening here? Well, to get the rate there, that's negative 15 divided by 5, which is negative 3, okay? So my recursive formula, A1 is that. A(n) to the n minus 1 times negative 3, where n is greater or equal to 2. Okay? This one, I'm going to have 5 times negative 3 to the n minus 1. Okay? Explicit recursive. Okay? All right? All right, last problem on this page. The fourth term of the arithmetic sequence is 26. The ninth term is 56. Find the first and the common difference. Okay, so what I got here is I don't know the first, I don't know the second, I don't know the third. The fourth, I know. The fourth is 26. The fifth I don't know, the sixth I don't know, the seventh I don't know, the eighth I don't know, and the ninth I know, which is 56. Now, what you should do to do this problem is pretend like your sequence starts here. Really, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? Since it's arithmetic, I'm going to use this, A6, A1 plus 6 minus 1 times D. Okay? Now, I know the sixth term is 56. I know the first term, which is 26. And that's going to be 5D. So I subtract 26. That's going to be 30 equals 5D. If I divide by 5 there, my difference is 6. And I'm going to check it. 32, 38, 44, 50, 56. Great. So I know my difference is 6. Now I got to work back. So if I added 6, I'd subtract, so that'd be 20, 14, and 8. Okay? So my first term is 8. So the things they wanted are right there in green. Okay? Moving on to question number 12. It's on the next page. Find the common ratio with the first term in the geometric series where the fourth term is 3 and the ninth term is 96. Once again, very similar idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth term is 3. 5 I don't know. 6 I don't know. 7 I don't know. 8 I don't know. 9 I don't know. Okay? Actually, I do know 9. 9 is 96. Now, because this is geometric, I'm going to do same thing I did in the similar one. I'm going to pretend like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So what I got there is I got A6 is A1 to the R to the 6 minus 1 okay? I know the sixth term, 96, know that term. It's going to be R5. I'm going to divide by 3. I'm going to get, I believe that's going to be 32 equals R to the 5th. All right, now, to take the 5th root, okay? The 5th root. You can do that a number of ways. 32 to the 1/5 might be the best idea. 32 to the 1 divided by 5. Okay? It's going to be 2. Now, another way you could have done that is seen what could you multiply by itself 5 times and gotten that. So, let's check it. 6, 12, 24, 48, 96. Now, if I multiply by 2, divided by 2, all right, that's going to be moving backwards here. All right, I'm going to do 3 divided by 2 would be 3 halves. Okay, so 3 divided by 2 would be 1.5. Divided by 2 would be 3/4. And divided by 2 again would have been 3/8. Okay, so my first term there is 3/8. All right. Okay, it says a ball is dropped from a vertical of 6 feet. Each time it bounces, it rebounds for 3/5 of the previous distance. Okay, so the first term in that is 6. Now, that's a geometric, so I'm going to multiply by 3/5. Okay? All right, 6 times 3/5. So for the first bounce, it's at 3.6 height. Okay? Then I'm going to multiply by 3/5 again, times by 3/5. I get 2.16. Okay? All right? And then multiply by 3/5 again, I get 1.296. Multiply by 3/5 again, you get 0.776. Okay, now, it started here, okay? 1 bounce, 2 bounces, 3 bounces, 4 bounces, okay? And this is actually the 5th bounce. Okay, 0.46656. Okay, so how far will the ball bounce? How far will the ball rebound on the 5th bounce? The 5th bounce is actually going to be this. Okay, that is the 5th bounce. It says theoretically, what is the total distance the ball will travel? Well, what you do for that is you add all of these numbers up. 7, 6, 4, 6, 6, 5, 6. Okay. And I'm going to do that real quick. All right. So what you got is 6, because this, 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 and this. So you get about 14.3, okay? About 14.3. I think I did that right. Looks right. Make sure I got all the right terms here. Okay. All right. Actually, I'm sorry, that would be there. Okay. What is it? Actually, I'm sorry. What is the total distance it travels coming to rest? I'm sorry. Didn't do that one right. Okay. To get the one that travels to rest, what does that mean? The rest means infinity. Okay. So what I got there, my first term is 6. Then I got 1 minus 3/5. Sorry about that. Made that a lot harder than it needed to be. So 6 divided by 1 minus 3/5. Okay, it's 15. Sorry about that. It was close, actually. It would have kept getting smaller and smaller. In the arithmetic sequence, how many numbers are in that sequence? Okay, well, the difference there is 7. Okay? So what I know is that if I don't know n, let's say I would have to use this formula. Okay? Well, I know that the first term is 4. Okay? And I know that n minus 1 with a difference of 7. Okay? Now, what you can do, well, if I want to distribute that, that's going to be 4 plus 7n minus 7. That's going to be 7n minus 3. So what I got to figure out is, what n could I put in there that would give me that, okay? So if you play around with it, okay, you'll figure out that 7 times 186, okay, minus 3, all right, gives me 1299, okay? Another way to do that is just set it equal to 1299. I believe that's going to work itself out right there. 1302 divided by 7. Yeah, 186. So that's how many numbers are in that idea, okay? Use sigma notation, okay? All right, I got my formula already, 7n minus 3. I got 186 right here, okay? Find the sum of those, okay? Find the sum of that. Well, I know that if it's an arithmetic, I'm using this, okay? So I got 186 divided by 2, parentheses around it, 2 times 4 plus 186 minus 1 times my difference, which was 7, okay? And let's see if I type all that in, what do I get for an answer? Okay, 186, okay, divided by 2, 2 times 4 plus 186 minus 1 times 7. Okay, 121179. Final answer. Okay. Moving on to the last page. All right, find the common difference in sum of the first 80 terms. Okay, well that's pretty easy. Okay, that's my first term. My common difference is 4. Okay. If I'm doing 80 terms, that's 80 over 2. 2. The first term is going to be negative 5 plus 80 minus 1 times 4. Extra set of parentheses. Okay, 80 divided by 2 times 2 times negative 5 plus 80 minus 1 times 4. 12240. Okay? Find the common ratio in the 15th term of the sequence described. Okay? Sequence. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting 15 into here. That's 200. Okay? 0.9. I put 15. 15 minus 1 would be 14. Okay? So very simple. 20. 0.9 raised to the 14th power. 4. Oh, whoops, I left off the 0. 200. Okay. 0.9 raised to the 14th power. Whoops, what did I do? Ah, natural log. All right, 45.75. 45.75. Okay. All right, the last 3 problems are review problems. Find the solution graphically or algebraically. Okay, what you would do there is I would go into menu, I would go into graph. Okay, now I'm going to type the left side in. I'm going to type in -2. Absolute value is an option, num, ABS. Okay, in parentheses is x minus 3. Okay, plus 5. The second line is going to be x plus 7. And I'm going to draw. Okay, now my thing doesn't look very good there. F3, F3, exit, draw. Okay, now, if it intersected, that's where I want to find it. But there's no intersection, so this is going to be no solution. Okay? If for something it did cross, all right, because that went like this. But let's say if it ever went like this, all you're looking for out of there is the x coordinates, no y's. Okay? What are the solutions to that? Okay? The way I would do that is I'd go into menu, equation, polynomial, degree 2, 3, -7, -6, and solve. And my 2 answers are x equals 3 and x equals -2/3. Okay? Moving on to the last problem, okay? What I gotta do is I gotta try to reduce this. Now, I'm gonna take out a 3, okay, because they all have the 3 in common, same thing here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and figure this out. All right, I'm gonna go right into that same thing I was at, and I got 3, -9, and 6. Now, the solutions are 2 and 1, but that means that's x minus 2 and x minus 1, okay? If I do this one, I got 3, 3, -6. My solutions are 1 and -2, so I'm x minus 1 and x plus 2, okay? All right, so imagine splitting that. Now let me erase that little part right there. All right, I split that like that. The key is taking out the 3 first. Now, what is this side missing that this one has? Well, this needs an x plus 2 here. Okay, and I need to multiply up top by x plus 2. This one's missing an x minus 2. So I got to multiply those. Now, we'll deal with that negative in a second. But what I want to do is I want to multiply that. That gives me x squared plus 2x. This I'm going to have to multiply with boxes. Okay? And what I got there is I got 2x squared minus 3x minus 2 for multiplication. Now, since that's a negative, that's going to change all of those signs. Okay? And that's all over my common denominator. Now, when I combine all that, okay, when I combine all that, I have negative x squared. I got positive 5x. I have positive 2. What's my common denominator? One of these sides. And there's my answer, okay? Make sure you practice those review problems, and you should be fine.
Ms. Jed, please call 6500. Ms. Jed, 6500. Thank you.